So anyone that's joined, thank you very much. Much appreciated. So tonight I'm just pretty much just trying to get through a backlog of Necrons because we've got so much cool stuff coming. And of course, I really, after painting Loken the other night, I really want to get back on and paint some more of the Lunar Wolves. So this is where we're at. So this is one of the models that I'll just try not to have my big old mullet in the way. Let's have that to about there. So this is where I've got so far with this fella. So just playing around with some different greens just to make it, see if I can make those greens pop a little bit more. And it's really is, you know, making it stand out a lot more. So still a lot more work to be done on that. Now, I don't know if you can see the writing on the actual model itself, but if I zoom that in. So that's all hand done with my secret little tool, which is absolutely friggin' awesome. Loving that at the moment. And so there's so many cool things you can do with that. But yeah, so that's where I am at the moment with him. So I'm going to crack on with this. So look, whoever's in the chat so far, thank you very much for joining us. Drop some names down. Tell me who's watching. It'll be absolutely friggin' awesome to know who the viewers are. And whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching on thing. So how you doing, Dylan? You all right, mate? Yes, thank you. He's coming on nicely. So that's where we're with him at the moment. One of the things I am going to do a short little video very, very soon. But I've got a cool little tool that allows me to do some really awesome fine line writing on them. So that's just so freaking cool. I was just doing some bits with that the other day. I was playing around with doing like the gold trims, trying to get the. So this allowed me to get the trims nice and thin, which was really, really cool. Christopher, thank you very much for joining us, my friend. And the Tyrant, awesome. And Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, I did try to show you these greens, but you weren't listening. So yeah, so that's where we're at the moment on that. And of course I think on the camera that's making it pop a lot more than what it actually is. So I think the camera kind of deceives you a little bit on that. So I'm looking on the screen now and it looks like that's more illuminated than what it actually is, which is interesting because I haven't played around with any of the camera settings. So, or maybe it's just where you're reflecting off the lights from down there. So check your messages, my son, check your messages. I did go through and show you how to do that. But yeah, so what I'm going to do tonight, I'm just going to carry on just doing a couple of blades. As I said, I've got to get through this backlog quickly. I've got to get these Necrons done. I've got to get some Space Marines done. My Lunar Wolves, more importantly. I've got to get a Jakari army done, and I've also got to get my Imperial Guard army done. And I want to get this all done before Christmas. That's crucial. In fact, I actually want to get this all done before November the 11th. Don't know why, but that's my target. So we've got so much to do. Plus, it'd be awesome to have some really cool new models coming up on the station as well. So that'd be really, really, really cool. So let's just crack on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on finishing off what I've done on the other side. So with this, it's nice and simple. It's just a simple case of masking off. Similar to what you'd do if you was doing like power weapons or like on the Grey Knights or anything like that. And that's pretty much we're going with the same technique. It's a little bit more trickier with the curved blades. I was thinking about, you know, there is other things you can do. There's other tools that I can put into place to try sort that out. But because I'm trying to look upon speed, it doesn't make it worth doing it that way of the other way of doing it. But I will at some point. I'll go through and show you how to do the other way. But the other way, I'll show you how to do the other way in a sec. So I'm just going to leave that up like so. So as you can see there, we just taped off. And I'm going to try and get the blend over. We'll see how that goes. So that one was. So we want to try and get the blend there, and then possibly down here as well. But let's have a look, see how we go. And then regards with these, you can put tape on there, but it's just too time consuming. And I'm really being mindful of what time I've actually got available, and that's not really going realistically that's not going to happen. So we're not we're not going to do that. So, weapon of choice. Let's get my badge, my Saltar. Hopefully I said that right. Saltar! And it would be good if I had a air hose. Air hoses are always good, right? And now all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to be going in with some ink. So I don't know if you can see on that. That's the ink I'm going for. A little bit thinner first. So all I'm doing is a little bit thinner in there. And then just going straight in with the inks. I need to make sure I've got the PSI right. Yep, that's cool. So sitting on the PSI around about 20. And then it's even that still feels a bit strong. So I'm going to add a couple more drops in. And all I'm going to do there is just thicken that up a little bit. So just to show you that I'm not bullshitting when about doing that part freehand without masking it off, we're going to do that with this one here. So pardon the bad language. So all I'm going to do is just get my airbrush to where I need to be. I've done a stream a couple of weeks ago where I showed you how I taught myself how to become a better airbrusher, or how to get better with the airbrush. So what I'm doing here, just putting the model so it's at an angle. So when I'm pushing the airbrush down, I'm just catching that part there. And because that's kind of like at another angle, it kind of misses it. Now you will get some overspray, but you can correct that later on. But I'm not really worried on that side, so it's cool. Let us know how the mic's coming across, whether I'm coming across clear or whether I'm coming across a bit faint or echoey. I've got the wireless mic kit that we use for the battle reports. I'm kind of got a new adapter that's allowing me to put it through the laptop. So I'm interested to see whether that's actually paying off and whether that's working, or whether my horrible tone of voice is not coming through. So. And again, just going from the side. So when it starts spitting like that, it's best just to ease off and let it dry. And I'm actually using the airbrush to dry. And all I'm doing is just slightly pulling back the airbrush. Now the white ink, what I've found since using it, you can get some real nice, stunning white coming from this. And when I done Loken, mate, when I done Loken the other night, man, that was absolutely friggin', that awesome was just, bam. It was just so cool and crisp. I was well impressed with it. I think when I do my Primaris in the Lunar Walls, I have to rethink about the base colour and what I go with it. Because it does look really cool. And of course we've got some new Necron toys come in October time. So can you see where we've just gone from an angle? We're not getting that overspray coming on here. And then to do the other side, again, all we're going to do is the same process. Put the model at an angle. And I just want that slightly overlapping. And then we'll do a little bit more. Let's see if I can get that. See if I can turn that down. If I turn that down a bit, maybe you can see that just starting to pop through. So we've just got the shape. We've kind of got like now more of a grey type shadow there. And again, we're going to do, let's go a little bit on this side here. And in a sec, I'll show you the recipe that I'm using for the greens. I've got to remember it now. No pressure, man. And Mikey, I have got how I'm doing this now. I can do a similar type of one. So that orange that I showed you the other day from the pictures, but I can even get it a little bit more crisp, more sharp. When airbrushing like this, it is better to not stick the model fully together. God, that would be so much easier, right? If I could have just got the weapon on its own. I'm not worrying about the overspray on the silver because I can go back and sort that bit out. And then here, I'm going to be a little bit more trickier. So here, I'm just going to come at an angle. Boom. And that's it done on that. So while I've got that there, I just want to do, so this is one I've done earlier on, so I just want to tidy this up just a tad, or do I? Probably, let's go for it. Not much, I just want to add a little bit on. That'll all make sense in a bit why I've done that. And then we was going to finish off that, wasn't we? Where were we at? So we're going for the edges there. So here we kind of want to go. Let's make sure that's down properly. There's somewhere around about there we want to go. Don't want to go too much because you can start seeing that the paint starting to pull over, so got to be really, really careful on that side. Thanks, Sean, much appreciated, sir. How are you with your Thunderhawk gunship? Question is, has anyone pre-ordered the Xbox? And want to do the same again there. So with that, I'm just going to, because we've already got the paint going on that end part of the blade already, I'm just going to blend that in. Having control on the airbrush will help massively. So not really going too heavy on the trigger helps. So we're going to go a little bit here. Another little bit there. And I'm just going to have a little tad. just there. Cool, right. I think that's where I want to be at. I just want to do... a little bit more on his claw. Because I want to put a... Oh, lovely, mate. Is that your last holiday before the final lockdown? Sean, I have got an absolutely friggin' awesome red for your... check out the... I'll send some pictures later on Loken, but I've got an absolute friggin' awesome red recipe for those blood angels. Like, really, really stunning red. Unless you're going to go that whole route of doing the candy reds. But you don't want to do that. Cool, right. It's a shame I couldn't put pictures up on the group. That would be really cool. Like as I'm doing the live stream, actually putting pictures up, because that would have been absolutely freaking awesome. So all I'm gonna do, quickly clean the airbrush out. So if you're new to the stream, or you're new to me doing live streaming, my way of cleaning that airbrush is just get a little bit of water in like an old jam jar. And all I do is just get the most of the excess paint out first. Like so. And then straight out the window. The missus will come down. She'll be like, why are my roses green? Don't know. It's a shame, really, Sean, because actually, do you know what? The red. Look upon the new contrast red. I think it's the Flesh Terror red, and then put that over the silvers. I think you'll be surprised on how good that red will pop. Like on the just on the cape. God, spit my words out tonight. On the cape itself, it did come out really, really cool. That was really nice. Do one thing quickly. And let's just go into there. Where are you? Manage. Let's get that into there like so. Why has this been a bit slow tonight? And then we want to go into there. I wonder why that's coming up saying that is slow. Hopefully this is not lagging too much for you guys, but for some reason it's coming up on my stream saying I'm lagging a little bit, so interesting. I will pop, check your see if I can find you. And of course, first thing that pops up is bloody you sending a picture of bloody Kevin. No, I haven't got... Sean, I'll send you some pictures over because it's a nice rod. Actually, do you know what? Let me go get it. Let me go get it. Don't know if you can see. So that's the red I'm referring to. I think that nice darker red on the Blood Angels would look absolutely friggin' awesome. But yeah, really happy with that. Okay, so going into the next stage. So what we're going to go up with next, we're going to go in with some yellow ink. I'm just going to go straight out the bottle, straight into the airbrush itself, and I'm not going to go too much because I don't plan to use too much of this. So where I had that little fella, first of all, the red itself, it's the Flesh Terror Red, Sean. Flesh Terror Red. So the base coat I went over with grey. So I've done a grey and then Zenith highlight underneath it. Hopefully. Now if you can see that, that's really pulled that up a little bit more. You painting this one yourself, Sean, or are you getting it commissioned? So that's with the yellow ink, just run over the top of it, and that just kind of helps pull out the greens. But he's nowhere near finished yet. You're gonna do it yourself, cool. Mate, it'd be interesting to see what you do with it. So just off the tip of his claws. No, fair enough, dude. Well, if you're gonna do them, I might do my lunar walls, because I keep saying I'm gonna keep doing them, but I'm gonna do them Primaris. But I do also do because I've got, as you know, I've got loads of Forge World stuff just stashed away that needs to be built, so I might just do that and then join you. Let's get a little bit around there. Still got that big old tank. So the Megalodon. Megalodon. Can't think it was bloody called. Mate, the guy's an arse clown. I'm not even interested. I've been listening to the radio with him today, and it's just like, I ain't interested. So I'm going in with a couple of drops now with contrast, and that is the Warp Lightning. And then I'm going to go in with a couple of drops so I'm going to do a few more. So 4 drops of the yellow into the lightning. And then what we want to do is try work away from the highest point. Now contrast has some really, really cool properties in it. In the fact that the more coats you put into it, the darker it gets. Now I'm going to take full advantage of this, using it through the airbrush. Kid you not, contrast is such a lovely paint. And, you know, people just don't seem to use it as well as they should. They don't use it as much as they should. So I'm just giving that a quick once over. So I've kind of messed up a little bit there, but it's fine. I'm going to have to go back in with white and then just correct it, but it's no drama, it's not a problem. And then on the other side, we're going to do exactly the same. Trick is not to have it too close to the airbrush, too close to the model. And again, because it's quite watery, you don't want to go too heavy. So really, if you don't have airbrush control, drop your PSI down and probably drop it down to about 18, 15 maybe. But that all depends upon yourself and whether you feel you have the control. So I'm just going to go a little bit there. So we'll let that dry off, and then with the blade, see if I can get it to the side so you can see it a bit better. So what is everyone else working upon? What's everyone got on their table at the moment? You see that's popping quite nicely. And then the darker we get those parts off, the more that will stand out and the more that will pop. I'm going to get a little bit underneath there. Now time is obviously my biggest factor on this model. Or just on all my projects at the moment, time is going to be the biggest factor. So what you could do is you can get it to a nice standard now, and later on just come back in with a paintbrush if you choose, and then you can just really tighten these up. Tap, and if you can see on the paint on the paper, a little bit there. I've got another one that I've pre-done earlier on, so we're just going to go over that quickly. So just going over the whole model first of all, just with a thin coat. back over. And it's just working upon the darker areas. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of some of this paint out the brush. If anything, I probably went a bit too much. The amount of wastage I'll go through. And then all I'm going to do is just a tad of thinner. And we're just going to go back in with the contrast again. Again, just going straight in with the warp lightning. And again, I'm not adding anything else to it. So this one's going to be a little bit more thicker. And again, what we want to try to do is we want to try to aim for the darker parts. Let that dry off for a sec. Yeah, I kind of do like the darker green on him. May replicate that on the smaller ones, not sure yet. So again, going back in for the shadow here. So just kind of get in, see if I can get that in a bit. And again, just going at the side. So at the moment it's very, very fine that's coming out. Doesn't look it, but something is coming through. Just not there. Let's give that a little playback. Cool, right. No, I need a bit thinner, a bit more thinner with that. That's just starting to speck a little bit, and that's not what we want. Right, let's try that again. And again, let's try build this up slowly. Just gonna lick that bit off. So you've got some real nice blends going on in there. if you can see that. It's really it really does help it pop. And oh shit, that's what you don't want. Just clean myself up. So the last thing you want is a little bit of a spillage. Anyway, thank you very much everyone that's joined us on the live stream tonight. You guys and girls are absolutely friggin' awesome as always. If you could be so kind by hitting that like, and if you haven't already, make sure you're following the page, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. It'll be friggin' awesome. Okay, let's go for it again. Wrong one. So I'm just going to try pull that part in there. So again, slow and steady. But again, it looks like it's not doing it, but I can assure you it really is. I think I'm probably gonna have to go back in with a white just to help that blend in, just for that feather motion. Just see if we've got anything coming in on YouTube at the moment. Cool, right. Let's try again here. And again, we're just going to keep slight little coats. And because I'm going through the airbrush, it will dry quickly. And we'll go again. It's looking stunning. Though again, on the camera's not quite bringing out the speckle. So I can see on my side there's a couple of things on it that need to be tightened up. That's fine, dude. Absolutely fine. So again, just go in. Just drying those bits up. That looks good. I like that. I ain't gonna lie, it looks better on screen than it actually does in the real thing, and that's crazy. But it's just the way the lights are catching on there. It's just, if I get it like that, yeah, that's cool. That's really, really cool. That's awesome. So what I want to do next, just want to get in there and just touch those lines up. So with my new little tool. Just pop that there. Now this. It's an awesome little. So all I want to try to do is just get in there and just pull the lines out. What this will allow me to do is allow me to get in there. Like so. Just going to rub that off there. I think I'm just going to pull a little bit around here. And of course we've got a little bit down there. So with that I can go back in there a little bit later on and sort that part out. Now if you wanted to, I was thinking about this last night about doing some like lightning patterns in there, some like sparks. Let's see if I can, we can only try, right? See what it looks like. If it works, it'd be great. See, I'm not going to do that, just in case if I mess it up, and then that'd be like game over. So just get another couple of lines in here. Right, we don't get nothing. I think that's just dried up just on the nib. So let's clear that out. And we can start again. Nice and easy, eh? And then again, with that tool, you can do so many cool things with that. And that's pretty much what I've done with the writing on the actual model itself. You just get a nice, clean, crisp pattern. Right, let's just get... kind of want a little bit more. Cool, right. Get that down in there. Get that around like so. because you kind of want that energy just flowing through. So yeah, at the moment it's just white, but once I start putting all the other colours on top of it, we can really make that really stand out. You don't have to use this for, you know, what I'm doing here. You can use a nice thin paintbrush. All I'm finding with this is I can just keep applying it. The ink's coming through, and that's what I want. And you don't have to use ink with this. I've been using lots of the contrast paints through it, and that's been working really well as well. Just get that around there like so. Get that down there like so. And what we could do, just in with the chest itself, we could just run some white ink in there. So we've got all the white ink where we need it to be. I always feel those legs are wrong, but they're not. And of course we'll have some really cool bases with him as well. And again, eyes. This is where this really comes in. Just being able to just tap that little eye, and that's really cool. Right, let's pull that there. And I suppose we can just tap these up while we're there. It makes sense to do this at the same time. Necrons really did get some really lovely models in this new edition. Let's get these around here. Of course, we've got a nice daddy long legs making its little journey around the room. Be alright until he decides he wants to land on the model. And then he'll be forever entombed upon paint, which we don't want. There you go, if we can get that in there like so. Down. Oh. Actually, that really works well for that. That's cool. Let me know what you think. Drop some comments. Let's drop some more there. 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 And then we'll get... And then we'll just tap the eyes in. There you can see that. Boom. So I'm wondering how well this is going to do for marine eyes. I think definitely going to have a little play with them. Of course, got so many little projects coming up. We've got so many different models we can try this with. But I'm guessing like even the Elder all the elder or dark elder glyphs, this pen is going to be really helpful for that. Now I was thinking about just printing off some like white glyphs and then just oversticking them, but this pen might just even be just an easier and quicker way of doing it, and then I could be a little bit more precise on where I want, I suppose, where I want the glyphs to be. Wait and see. Kind of need like a couple of weeks off and then I'll get that down there like so. And again, we're just going to put some ink oh, it's not what we want to do. Again, let's just get a little bit on the eyes. And it's kind of like you've got a little bit there. I just feel it'd be rude if we didn't incorporate a little bit of white ink there. It would be rather rude, right? Let's get a little bit more in there. Boom. That's good. Right. Clean the tools off. Don't want any of the paint. Cool, right. So that's that part done. That's good. And then what do we want to do next? Let's put that away. Mate, thanks very much for joining us. One of the things I'm looking to do more of is get into the streaming side more, because the plan was always to do lots and lots of live streams on the painting side, and just for some reason never actually done it. Okay, right, let's try it again. So we're just going to go back in with the shadow. Actually, do you know what? We're not with that just yet. Let's get paintbrush number 2, which of course is going to be clogged. Life would be too easy, right? Hey, Tomas, thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated. If you've just seen what we're doing at the moment, we are just working upon some heretic Necrons. Oh, wow. This is really gooped up. How did I manage to get it that bad? Oh. I just want to try to do this so I don't terminate a brush. So, okay, what we're going to do, yellow. And I think what I want to do, actually going to add some green pink ink in there as well. And then what we're going to do, I'm just spraying this over where we just done all the white ink. So that should. And just clear that excess off, I'm just going to give a wipe down with a wet cloth, or a damp cloth even. Same thing again there. So all I'm doing is just a wet cloth. Just pulling off the excess. To be fair, I could even just go and do this. Straight in with that pen again. And to be fair, I think that's probably going to be the better way of doing it. So let's get rid of this excess paint. Wow, that is proper clogged up. I think it's just time for a deep cleanse in it. Something I won't do tonight, but I can't remember when I've used this one. It's been a while. As you can tell, it's probably been one of those late sessions where I've done some painting, forgot to clean the airbrush out, and I've just left it there and it's just all clogged up, which is an absolute bummer. Because that's what you don't want, is to let that clog up. Yeah, it's absolutely loads in here. Oh well. As I said, we're not doing that tonight. You can sit back up there. What we're going to do, we're just going to dry up a little bit more, darken it up. Would help as you can see what I'm actually doing. And then a little bit. So I'm actually going to finish this bit off. We're going to go old school. We're going to use an actual brush and do this next bit. So I just don't want to mess this bit up. It'd be a shame to do everything we've just put into this just to lose it. Just because of laziness. That's the only problem with an airbrush sometimes. You can get a little bit complacent. I know I can. Let's get that good old. Oh wow. There is loads and loads and loads and loads of paint in there. That's what I love about this stuff. When you think you've cleaned it all out. I don't know if you can see. So that was just cleaned out using all the alcoholic mess in that, and it's just you spray that stuff into the Badger air cleaner and it just pulls out all the junk, all the crap. And as I say, as you think you've cleaned it, it turns out you're nowhere near it. Okay. Let's get that down and then do a little bit of a desk cleanup and then a little bit of an itch. Let's see if we can. So that should. And what we want to do. Now we need a second brush. Now this is a little bit of a blend. So with a damp brush, I just pull up, just up behind it. And why is that? Something's in that, and that's stripping the paint for some reason. Not good. So let's lose that one. Let's lose those. Use those. Just pop you on mute for a second so you don't get blasted by the hairdryer. Okay. Just try it again. This time we're just going to go, we'll put a fresh batch out. Just in case there was something in the actual airbrush itself that was actually causing that to do what it was doing. And then we're just going to go going straight from the I didn't get damp one out in the end, did I? Silly boy, silly boy. Okay. And I've just balls that right up. Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. Mate, how the hell did I just mess that right up? Okay. And we'll... It's definitely going to take a few coats to get that back to where it needs to be, but it's fine. As they say, patience is a virtue. Okay. Thank you for that, much appreciated. So I'm just going over with the paintbrush just to tighten this up just a tad. I just really wanted to define the shadow parts. Heathrat, thank you very much, my friend, for the follow. That's really, really appreciated. That's absolutely awesome. And then let's get some more down, a little bit further down. And then I'm going to go with the green. So with that, I'm just going to mix a little bit in the green ink, and we want to put some water with that. And this is just so we can get into the probably going to have to do a couple of coats on that, but that's fine. That is absolutely fine, we can do that. And then into there like so. And that around. Let's give that a nice little glow. And then what I need to try and do is pull that to take some of that paint off. It's kind of a bit silly there. It's like I'm doing all the amateur mistakes tonight. Yeah, I'm not happy with the way that's come out at all. Be careful because some of that is starting to lift and that is not cool. Probably have to do some gloss varnish over it. Let's get that. Let's change this music, it's driving me crazy. Right, okay. We'll let him dry because I think I'm just causing myself more work. So we get the lighter ink into there. So I'm going to mix that in with a little bit more white. That white will just help it just pop a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit there. I want a little bit more white into around about there. And again, we want a little bit of white. Not too much, but we just want a little bit more. Do you know what? I've got some. I haven't actually. I've given it a little go, and I weren't really that keen on it. But then, to be fair, I haven't really given it a fair chance. Let's give it a try. It's meant to be, the idea is you're meant to just slap it on and it's meant to be like nice and easy. So let's have a look. Let's see. So if I pull that around to there, I'm going to mute you just a second so I can then put some air dryer on this as well. The hair dryer really does help this process. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all, actually. So, to give them credit, I suppose that for an airbrush actually might not be too bad at all. Let's add a little bit of white to it and just see where we go with the white ink. God, this music. We have some really, really good tracks, and it just goes absolute dog. Let's try that one. It's not too bad. Look, I don't mind it at all. Actually, it's all right. I'm going to try and incorporate it into some of my work, so I can just give it a fair try, if that makes sense. It's true. And want a little bit. But yeah, that's actually. I don't know if I prefer. I don't know if I prefer this one or this one now. Tough call. And I suppose the gauze actually would have multiple different colours anyway, so. But that with the white ink added into it, actually, it's alright. So the way you could go with that and then just add some white ink into it. Doesn't have to be white ink, but I'm sure if I do a few coats on that just to pull that in. And that's what I need next. Just bring some little sharp lines in just to make it. That's what we want. Make it sound so wrong. So wrong, but so right. Yeah, we get some more just there. Beast the King, thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. It's definitely getting there. And that is pretty much a mixture between the airbrush and using the actual paintbrush itself. But that on a battle report, he is absolutely going to stand out. No shadow of a doubt about that. Let's get the eyes in. A little bit more white. And let's just get some bits into there as well. In fact, before I go, that is there. Yes and no. Necrons can be easy to paint. I started doing the Necrons. Originally I was going to do them the candy red, and I was going to just smash them out in just like no time at all. The only problem is with me, as soon as I start doing something, I like it to look best I can get it. So when I do commission work or anything like that, I always want to make sure that my work is always to the same standard, and I just can't. And I just end up doing more detail than I should really do. But it's cool. But yes is the answer. Necrons can be very, very easy to paint. And I could easily smash these out in a weekend. No worries at all. It just depends on how much detail you want to put into it. It's like, for me, I can't remember which book it was, but there's an artwork where you had from the chest, you had like all the lights all shining through. And that's what I really wanted to go from there. But if if you're not worried about that in doing that, you're not superly worried about doing the weapons as they are. God, you could do this in like no time at all. You can do some really, really cool work. And of course, there's some, you know, I know there's some other people that have done some Necrons where they've been like super lazy. And I mean super lazy, just got like the crackle paint, not even the crackle paint. It's like the what's that basin that Games Workshop do that cracks all the paint. So basically, they've used that. Me personally, that's not I don't really like that style. But people do, and you know, and this hobby's always down about your personal preference, right? There you go. I've got a comment just popped up, just used it. So, glowing parts, did you use a shifters on the metallic parts? Shifters, I'm not sure. No, on that it's just gone over with a grey base coat, and then all I've done is Xenoth highlighting up into the areas, and then from there I've just then built up. Most of it is using the airbrush itself, and then just using up yellow ink first of all, and then just starting to add in the where's it gone? Contrast, and then just adding more and more to this to it until you're going pure, and that's it. Hey Underdog, welcome to the party, my friend. But yeah, that's it. I'm actually really happy the way that's turned out. He has definitely popped. So we'll just get around the back of this blade, just tidy up a little bit of this. And then, so we want to get some yellow ink into there, just get that to dry. And then a little bit down there, like so. So the actual model itself, it's all with the Vallejo metal colours. So those were gun. What do we use? It was jet exhaust silver, so it's like a real darky light, purpley type silver, and then I've just gone over with the light silver just over the top, just for this for the highlights on the silver. So you can see you've got the real different tones. I'm going to have to go back into it because where I've done the Xenoth highlighting over the top, I kind of have gone, there's too much overspray. So like for instance on the leg, which is not a problem. I could, if I wanted to, and what I probably should do is be smart about it. I could turn that into like a glow from the actual weapon itself. So that's actually not a bad idea. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that overspray to my advantage. And if I put that, I can actually turn it out so it looks like it's a bit of a glow from the actual weapon itself. I've got my captain still to paint, and there's a couple of other bits that I'm going to be painting with the Necrons. So once I've got these to a standard where I'm happy with, I'll do a quick short painting guide up on YouTube. And I just basically all I do is just put all the colours that I've done for it. I won't go into, you know, the full detail to it, but I'll put it up there so you can see what colours I've used and the process of doing it. But these at the moment, it's more of just a test, you know, just a test to see how they go and if I'm happy with it. And then once I'm happy, as I said, I'll just do those videos and that's it, and that'll be cool. And let's just get some more. Get some more up there, like so. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Mate, you're absolutely welcome. Listen, you're helping me out by watching this. I really do appreciate it. So, you know, thank you very much. Now, drop in the comments down as well. That's absolutely friggin' awesome. I'm just going to put a couple more layers into there. And then just to darken that off into the corners. Right, and then we'll probably do cool. That is absolutely starting to coagulate, which is not good. Did have let's get a little bit more contrast to the palette. Need to change my wet palette. Need to get some better greaseproof paper because that is starting to seep through. So just going in with the darker green just to pull those shading bits in. Again, as soon as I put like a gloss or a matte varnish over the top of that, that's going to make that help pull those colours in again. And I'm going to do a little bit around here. And then a little bit. Right, we'll leave that to dry for a little bit. We'll let that give it a natural dry opposed to rushing that through with the air dryer. And then that one, gotta try and blend that a little bit in there. Darken that up just around about there. And some more around there. Right, so we're going to go in with the lighter green, and then we're just going to go into the better still. What do I do with you? Let's get this in here. We just want if that wants to go in there. Probably because I've got paint. It's probably dried in the actual, in between the middle bit, and that's not what we want. So let's give that a little. There you go. So hopefully let's break that down in between there. Try that again. Yeah, got it. Just needed that little bit of just need that little bit there just to convince it to go. The only problem is now that's actually pulling the paint away, and we don't want that. Okay, I'm going to stop that because I'm absolutely ruining what I've done and don't want that. So let's give this a try. Yeah, I think that was not what they said that would do. That's actually a bit of kit that was ripped off with. So I'm just go straight in with the yellow ink. So what I was trying to do with that other pen, try to go into the gaps and do it that way, just so I can be a bit more precise on it. But I don't look like that was gonna. Didn't want to play ball. No dramas. Okay, and then we'll get there. Definitely gonna need a couple of coats there. Cool, right, well we can let that build up and we can just go over that a few times. And then okay, I'm just gonna mute you for a sec, so then that way I can again use the hairdryer. Yeah, all I'm doing just with a hairdryer, it's just all I've got is just a hairdryer, and all I'm doing with that is just to dry the paint. That is it. So I'll try definitely to keep it. And then thank you very much for your kind words. This is all just so I can get the Necrons on our channel to do some battle reports. And then we're going to get some around there. And we get around there. I'm going to let that dry. And then we're going to pull some more. Down there and down there. Do you know what? I've got loads of Imperial Guard to do up at some point as well. That's the colour scheme. I'm working with my Imperial Guard at the moment. But it's kind of like a little bit of a hobby washout. Hey, how you doing? I'm guessing this is I'm having a brain freeze here. How you doing, buddy? You all right? Let's just pull a little bit more. Hopefully hopefully the camera's coming clear on your side so you can see the detail. Troops, yeah, last year I managed to pick up a whole Imperial Guard army for like 170 quid. So it's all built. Some of it's not built good, and some of it was already painted, so I just got to go over and just touch it up. So it's not a problem. Cheers, buddy. And then we're just going to get a little bit more in there. It's going to be a case I'm going to have to let that dry off. Yeah. See, at the moment I've just got so many projects I've got to clear off. Like the Saturday night, I normally do a live stream on the Saturday night now, and I just got so sick and tired of just painting Necrons or any other stuff. So I just thought I'd go back to some Horus Heresy. So this is what I painted up Loken the other night. Still got to finish off his face. At the moment, he kind of looks like a little bit of a zombie going on, but that's cool. There's some work still to be done on that. But that red is just absolutely freaking awesome, and that's pretty much all airbrush on that, apart from the face, of course, and the hair. But we're getting there. Still got loads of work to be done on him. Let's get some more in there. Start pulling up that. Really appreciate it, my friend. So the idea is I'm going to do a whole Lunar Wolf Primaris army. I keep saying I'm going to do it and do it, but never got around to doing one. But I'm going to make sure before Christmas, my 2 boxes of Dominus box set is going to be painted up Lunar Wolves. That is that's my little aim. And of course, try to get through the boxes of Hobby Shame that I've got stashed away everywhere. Like I've got a big Death Guard. Yeah, I have got a big Death Guard army and loads of Nurgle demons just sat there, just still waiting to be painted up. I've got some ideas on how I want those colours to pop, but it's just not quite getting there yet. Or let's put it another way: I'm not actually getting them on the tabletop just yet. I suppose the other thing at the moment, because on the channel we've got so many people that play Chaos, I never get a chance to actually use any of my Chaos stuff, or I haven't actually painted anything new for the Chaos side, which is a shame. So I'm going to do that there, and I'm going to pull it up. He's coming, mate. They're coming. The Lunar Wolves are going to be coming. Lunar Wolves are just friggin' awesome. I just love the whole storyline. See, Lunar Wolves are what got me back into got me back into Warhammer. It's such a badass force. I think I might have messed up there. Let's just pull. Let that dry off a bit. So who's the prime? Which prime are we putting our money on for Christmas? I think it's going to be the Lion. The lore is, there's just so many cool books. Like if you've never read any of the lore books, what you want to read is the Horse Rising. It's all 3 of those books in that saga are just absolutely friggin' awesome. I know they've done the omnibus version now, which is a little bit longer, but I think I prefer the original one because there's a little bit less storyline behind it. But I think I like the person that's doing the I like the voice of the person that's doing reading the book. That's how I picture Loken's voice or Horus's voice. But you get used to the omnibus one, and even that one's actually pretty cool. So they've actually done a really, really good job on that as well. But yeah, if you're gonna get into it, they're the ones to go for. Vulcan Lives, mate. Vulcan Lives is a really, really good book. Like, absolutely friggin' awesome. And Comrade Kurz is an absolute a-hole. Like, talk about... Of course, I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. But, yeah, he absolutely is an absolute friggin' beast. And the stuff he does is just absolutely brutal. Let's just do a little tap. So while that's still wet, just tapping it in there. Mate, it's going to be the Lion. The Lion is definitely coming back. I was having a chat with someone the other day, and it's like apparently the Dark Angels Codex is not dropping, or the supplement's not dropping until Christmas time. And of course, Christmas time they do something big, and I reckon it's probably going to be, it has to be the Lion, and they're going to drop it in the supplement for the Dark Angels. And the question is, how's he going to turn? How's he going to fare with Gilliman and the way everything's going on at the moment? I can honestly see that if they bring him back, there's going to be a bit of disagreement between Gilliman and the Lion. There is no way the Lion is going to let what's happening at the moment in the Imperium, carry on going on. It's just not going to happen. Especially like with the Inquisition and that, he's going to come along and go like, "No, mate. Like, I'm not Gilliman. You're not going to push me about." There is no way on God's earth that's going to happen. Yes and no. Yes and no. The reason being I say yes and no is because obviously the Horus heresy is coming to, I suppose, coming to an end in a way, because they're not too far off now with the sieges of the Siege of Terror. Because who have they got Primarch wise left on the Horus Heresy to drop? Because they've done Sanguinius. Obviously, you've got the Emperor going to be coming at some point as well. So that's going to be, the Emperor is going to be big. I think he's going to be an absolute friggin' beast of a model when they drop him. Oh mate, everyone will. That's the thing. Like, once they do it, it's just going to be friggin' awesome. And then you're going to see all the Dark Angels players all come out of the woodwork. They're going to all declare their Dark Angels love. And you're going to be like, really? You're a Dark Angels player? Yeah, man. I created them. Always loved them. And you're like, yeah, of course you did. Yeah, they have to. They kind of have to balance the scales a little bit, don't they? Or with the release of the Necrons, what they could do. Now, this is a bit of a spoiler if you haven't read the book already. There is a loyal Fulgrim. How damn cool would that be if they dropped that with the loyal Fulgrim? That'd be friggin' awesome. Yeah, that would actually be a head. Just thinking that in my head, how would Gilliman handle a loyal Fulgrim, considering what Fulgrim did to him? Man, that would be one hell of a trip. I don't think Gilly would handle that very, very well. I think actually Gilly would freak and actually, yeah. Mate, it's an awesome little, it's definitely an awesome little Christmas gift, that's for sure. Let's get that down. Let's get that down there. I can't see the Imperium can't afford to have a civil war. With everything that's going on at the moment, they physically can't do it. But if they did kill off, say, like Chaos as such, like, they can't really kill Chaos off, but because Chaos is always going to be there. But if they did manage to like stem it down and they push the, you know, the Chaos Space Marines back into the eye for a bit, you definitely could see civil war going on in between it, and it would kind of like make sense, right? Because of course, some point you're going to see you're going to see Russ, start coming back. Yeah, look, I think the Imperium definitely does need a loyal Primarch to come back. But look, the ones you've got there that you could potentially use, you've got what? Corax is now being, they're talking about Corax. There was a whole big thing about with Corax last year. And they talk about him being in the shadows. So, there could be potential of, Corax is there. And, how trippy would it be that Corax was actually down with the Emperor all the time, just watching over him? Or just something mental like that. And, and they've got it in them to do something cool like that. Oh mate, I have a lot of thoughts on the whole thing when I'm doing my day job, just driving back and forth to different jobs, or if I'm up on a roof doing someone's dish. The little thoughts that go from mine. Oh, what about if that happened? Or what about if that happened? Because they've got no way of obviously Magnus coming back to the fold. And like someone said something about Abaddon, because there's a book where they ask Abaddon whether or not he was Horus, and he just smiles at him. Now he can't be, because Horus is a lot bigger than what Ezekiel is. But God, what head mess that would be. Idic beer. Yes, my friend. More Necrons. Necrons. Hopefully I'm doing the Necrons some justice here. Doing some love. We're slowly getting there. Of course, I want all that new terrain that's coming out for them as well, because they've hinted, haven't they? They've got some new scenery coming for them, and I just think they're just going to look absolutely friggin' awesome. Yeah, so fully united awakening Necrons versus Orcs at the highest. Yeah, that would be really cool. Emperor versus the Chaos, every demon prince. Yeah, that would be really cool. Of course, like the Chaos demon princes at the moment, we've still got what Lorgar still got to make a scene. Perturabo, he's still about. I reckon Perturabo, I think he's going to be an absolute friggin' beast when they finally drop him. I can just imagine them doing something really cool for Perturabo. Of course, he's going to be like all mechanical and stuff. Ah, awesome, man. You painting the Indominus box set, Nick? So those that are watching on Twitch and on Facebook, this is being broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. So yeah, so if I start chatting conversation that you can't see in the thread, it's only because I can see all the threads all in one go. That's it. Perturabo, the Iron, the Iron Warriors. They are going to be. I can imagine him. He's going to be an absolute friggin'. He's going to be a beat stick. But of course, they're going to have to do some really, really cool rules, right, to make him for all the defense side. Oh, Nick, I've got 2 boxes of Dominus box sets as well. Of course, I've got to get through the Imperial side as well, but it's cool. I've got my colour scheme. It's going to happen. The Lunar Wolves are going to rise, and I'm going to have it all done before Christmas. I'm going to set myself up, so I'm just going to come down. No excuse, going to come down, live stream, paint, got to go through the whole thing and just get it done. It'll be cool. See, I thought... So that's interesting because obviously Rogal Dawn, he was meant to be dead, but of course now the fluff's changed, and it was just his hand they found. But there's so many theories with that, though, isn't there? They say like he's actually down with the Emperor, you know, fighting in the tunnels. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that'd be really cool if he was down in the tunnels, you know, fighting away, because I think that'd be really cool. But the question is, will they get the Emperor out of his little chair? So I need to... Nick, have you used this at all? The technical glow. Mate, listen, I definitely think they should be getting him out of that chair. But the thing is, as soon as he gets out of that chair, I think that's where it's all going to completely change. Question is, will he be as big as Gilliman? Or will they kill him off? Will they kill him off and then bring him back? Yeah, see, like, it's interesting because I've been playing around with a bit of both, a bit of the old paint scheme and the new. Actually, don't mind it. Actually, don't mind it more. I'm using it more as a glaze than anything else, but it's actually working all right. Look, yeah, they will rise him again, but the question will be, right now, of course, the Emperor's obviously his great work was the Primarchs, and of course all the Space Marines, right? So the Emperor made the Space Marines to what they were, and of course you got Kroll that's come around, mucked around with his design, his grand design with the Primaris. How they're gonna play that? How's that gonna work out? Is the Emperor gonna just go like, yeah, that's cool, man. You can muck around with my you know, all the hard work that I've done to get the Space Marines to where they are now, and you've just come along and you just said you made them better, right? Better than what I could do. Interesting. Mate, that would be absolutely friggin' awesome, right? So you get the Emperor back. He kicks off, and it's then Space Marines versus Primaris Marines. That'd be awesome. All the people then have just sold all their Space Marines. We're gonna have to go out and go get them again. It's not too bad, Nick. Mephos, it's not too bad, my friend. There's a little combination between old paint schemes and new paint schemes in this. But I'm starting to lose it a little bit there. So I need to... darken that back up. More than likely. Like, don't get me wrong, Games Workshop have got so much storyline they can play around with. I think I'm going to have to let that dry a little bit because I'm killing it. Let's just mute that. So I just put you on mute so you don't get your ears blasted with the airdryer. Oh. Let's get that around. It'd be interesting. Be interesting what they do with Crow as well, because fluff-wise, all the Primaris Marines are in all the different. Sean, I'm only doing it so the cap isn't in front of the camera. If I do that, as I'm leaning over, the cap goes in. You know me, my friend. I'm not really a cap man. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Oh, I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, so with the crawl, just see where they go with him. That's a model I'd like to get my hands of and paint. I think I could do some really awesome stuff with that. Let's do that over there, like so. It's kind of like I feel like I need to pull that slightly out a little bit more. Thank you, TLC. Much appreciated, sir. Let's get a little bit more of a glow. A little bit more of a glow just there, so we just need to maybe pull that out just a tad. Thank you very much. Listen, I'm very, very happy the way they're coming out. Of course, I've got to get the. If you haven't already, I've done some awesome bases that's up on the YouTube channel, which is like a broken street base. And I think they look absolutely friggin' awesome with the Necrons. So I've got like the Tri-Stalkers. I think that's what they're called. Nick will correct me. But the one that looks like out of War of the Worlds, and I've got him on like I've done both of them, so like on a broken street level. It looks absolutely friggin' awesome. So I want to do that. So these I haven't stuck down to the base, just so I can pop them off, and then I can just put them onto a proper base, make them stand out and look good. And let's just do a little bit more. That's going to take a little bit, good couple of layers to pull those blends in. That's for sure. Yeah, I think this. You know, if you're going to do all the models, you know, like this level, you're going to be there forever. With all the Necron warriors, I've just done them all through the airbrush, and I've just done all 40 over 2 days. Absolutely was soul destroying, but it's like one of those things you just need to just crack them out and get them done. Canotech. I hate the names that Games Workshop come out with some of these bloody models. And some of their paint range is just like, are you taking the mick? How am I meant to pronounce some of those names online? It's just not even going to happen. Killamorph. Hey, no, it's not that one. It was the I've forgotten what he's bloody called now. There's the one out of the Gene Stealer cult that I just cannot say his name. Ooh, lovely. Dude, if you're on Facebook, come find our Twisted Dice page in our group. Drop some pictures in. Share the love. Show me what you're working on. Show me what you got. Inspiration is always cool, and I always love to see what other people are always up to. Some of the guys on our Patreon group, they've done some of this like World War II stuff, and it's 1964, I think it's called, and like the models themselves, they look absolutely friggin' stunning, and I'd love to do some of those and paint some of those up. Thomas has done an absolute friggin' banging job on him. He's such a quick little painter as well. Well impressed with what he turns out. It's just awesome. Let's just pull that around. Always have a little look. That'll always be awesome. Let's just pull that around. Yeah, that little blend. My name's Darren Allen. So if you find the Twisted Dice group, you'll find me. You'll find us all over on that. So I think I'm down on Twitch as Twisted Dice TV. But if you just type in Twisted Dice, you'll find us. And if you're into if you love your Tyranids, or if you like Tyranids, Ace has got some really cool Tyranid stuff up on there. Hey, awesome. Yeah, that's working, that's popping. Yeah, so the Twisted Dice person's me as well, but I lost the password for it. Oh mate, Ace has got some really awesome Tyranids. If you have a little flick through there, you'll see some of the stuff he's done. Some of the work he's done is absolutely banging. It's absolutely really done an awesome little job. Mate, listen, everyone's going to start somewhere in that, and I'm sure it's not as bad as you say it is. Fair enough. We're going to be doing I plan to do, as I said, a lot more live streaming up, and what I plan to do is just go through some of the techniques that I do. So if you are on, my friend, I'm more than happy to share some of the little tricks that I do to paint some of this stuff. And it's not hidden behind a Patreon wall neither. I'm just going to be doing it up on the channel so everyone can see. Do you paint with an airbrush, or is it mainly brush? That's coming out alright, so we'll let that dry. And then we'll come back to him. No, that's fair enough, dude. With the paintbrush, you can do so much cool stuff. The trick I find with the brush, as long as you've got the patience, you can do some absolute. You can do better work with a paintbrush itself than you can with an airbrush. With an airbrush, you can just do things a lot quicker, so you can save some time on some of the processes. So like everything I've done here tonight, I could easily do that with a paintbrush. I don't need an airbrush for it. But just like for the blending, you just get a much nicer, smoother transition in between. Where you get smoother transitions with the paintbrush, but you can just do it quicker with the airbrush itself. But the boss, yes, mate. Thank you, much appreciated, sir. So one thing I like about Necrons is if you get the colours right, like the weaponry right and the greens, you can really make them stand out on the battlefield. And that's the idea with them. It's just to make those weaponries pop and the glows just stand out, just so they stand out. But that is it. But I think that is where I need to call it for tonight, unfortunately. If you guys are on tomorrow, if you're about tomorrow, I'm going to be back on doing another live stream tomorrow. Probably going to be doing it from about 7:30 onwards. As I said, between now and Christmas, I need to get so much work done. Plan to finish these Necrons off tomorrow, and I'm also going to go through the bases as well and how I do the bases for these. But yeah, that's cool. Anyway, listen, thank you very much everyone that's joined us and watched us. Thank you for all the new people that's followed us as well tonight. You guys and girls are absolute friggin' mega bosses, so much appreciated. And hopefully I'll catch you all tomorrow from about 7:30 onwards. So